Okay, I've just turned the heat back on this pan. It's been sitting here, so it was fairly cool. I'm about 15 minutes away from service time. I start heating that pan up. Bacon grease that I took out earlier, now I'm going to carefully pour an amount so I get a nice thin layer over the bottom. I'd say that was about half of the grease that I saved, and I left the big particles in there. Whip that around. Now as this comes up to temperature, I'm going to put in the almonds. I'm going to do the same sort of thing with the almonds. I'm not using this whole plate. I'm going to basically cover the bottom of this pan with the almonds, and I'm going to start toasting them. Oh, there we go. I'm going to cover the bottom of the pan so we're toasting them. I've used quite a bit of those. Now, within that grease, stir them up. And this is where, guys, I'm going to go ahead and add a little more salt to this. Salted roasted nuts, pretty wonderful. That was a big pinch. Little pinches, big pinches, more than one big pinch. I'd say probably half a teaspoon if you were measuring. Look at all that garlic. I'm putting a lot of garlic in there. You get a little bit of sizzle in there. And this will be one thing that you might need to add a bit more grease if it's sticking. Now I've got, because it's a nice stainless steel pan, I can scrape the bottom of this pretty hard and get all that good caramelized flavor from the cooking of the bacon. Oh, the smell. Now you know the garlic's at least cooking enough to boom, let that aroma release. But I want to cook it just a bit beyond that. I almost want brown crunchy garlic with the brown crunchy almonds and brown crunchy bacon. Now here's the tricky part, because I want to cook it. I don't want to cook this all the way done and then add my green beans, because then this will be too done. So right now I'm going to cheat and throw 1 teaspoon. That's not a real teaspoon, that's just a regular spoon, coffee spoon. So I get a little liquid in there and let that help deglaze my pan a bit. Okay, see it's starting to get brown a little bit. You seeing that there, Scott? I've got it at a pretty high heat because I'm bringing it up to temperature. I might want to take that down, but right now I'm still fine. I want to make sure the almonds are toasted and the garlic's starting to brown on me a teeny bit. That's about perfect. Now the other way I could put a little water or like the little lemon juice to kind of knock the temperature down. The other way to knock the temperature down is put something in it that's not as hot. My green beans. Now I'm gonna mix these around in this garlic. I'm gonna take the bacon. Now it would look, and everyone would instantly think you have way too much almonds and garlic and bacon for the amount of green beans. In a lot of ways that's very true, but at the end of the night they're going to clean up all the rest of this stuff that you have in here. And then I'll take a little bit of lemon juice. I'm not going to use a spoon because I want to put a little bit more. There we go. That helps the green beans. Put a little steam into my thing. I'm going to turn the heat down to about 4 here. This is a pretty hot burner, so even at 4, I've probably got about, what, 10,000 BTU going? 8,000? The burner's a 17,000 BTU burner, so it can put out quite a bit of heat. And this stainless pan's got a thick bottom, so it's going to hold a lot of heat. And now everything else in there is brown just the way I want it. All I'm really wanting to do is make sure that I bring the beans up to temperature to eat. And you probably could have put maybe another ½ pound, if you really were stretching it, another pound of beans in there. Ideally with the thinner beans, this would look a little bit better because it mixes in with the thinner beans a little bit better. But these were the fresh ones and I wanted to cook them up tonight. Now, this can hold for a teeny bit. If you're gonna hold it for a teeny bit, I would not cover it, because if you cover it then it's going to literally steam it and it will lose some of it. You can take it all the way down to a very low or even turn it off. If let's say something went wrong, you had 15 minutes, I would turn it completely off and just let it sit. Right before I'm going to put it in the serving dish, I'll bring it up to high, just heat it up just enough so it's hot, and then serve it. But You don't want to have this sit for an hour. It'll just kind of fade. It will lose the crispness to it. That's pretty much it. Let's take one of these out. Oh, a little almond, a little garlic. Oh my goodness. That is really tasty. You saw the amount of lemon juice I put in there? I don't think anybody that tastes this could say, oh wow, there's lemon juice in here. It just gives it a bit of a tang. The acid helps pop some of the nut and the bacon flavors. It's absolutely delicious. Now this will get picked on if I leave it out on the counter. This will disappear. There will be none left if I leave it out on the counter. And there you have it. Bright green. Beans are green. You can see the color of the almonds are just getting brown. The darker little garlic in there. That garlic is just to die for. And people are going to die when they're near you, or the next day you're going to smell bad. But that is delicious. There you go. Green beans with bacon, almonds, and garlic.